Hello everyone, I'm Teresa and on today's video we are going to start exploring the suit of wands. Welcome back to another tarot video. Today we are starting the much awaited minor arcana and jumping into the suit of wands. Let's do a little introduction to the suit before looking at the first card, okay? So you already know that the tarot is divided into the major and minor arcanas, right? I have covered all of the 22 cards of the major arcana on the previous videos, and today we are starting with the minor. So now the minor arcana has 56 cards that are divided into 4 suits. And I decided to start filming the suit of wands first, but the other suits are cups, swords, and pentacles. Now the suits are important because they influence the meaning of the card, okay? And knowing a bit about each suit is helpful when you are learning or doing readings. Wands is the suit that relates to the element of fire, which in turn relates to the zodiac signs of Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Fire is a very strong element, if not the strongest. We often consider humankind to have evolved greatly after discovering how to master fire. It is an element vital for cooking, for warmth, protection. It was used to forge weaponry. It was even used for several rituals. So you can see how important this element is. But regarding the suit of wands, fire brings us the burning movement of fire, that active element that keeps burning while has fuel to burn. So to remember, wands relates to fire, which brings us the idea of passion, creativity, excitement, liveliness, energy, life itself. However, remember that the fire that helps life thrive can also destroy and be cruel when not dominated or properly taken care of. Keep that in mind. Okay, let's move on to the card because that is the reason you are here. This is the Ace of Wands and the aces stand for the first card. So we can see them as number 1 for the suit. We have established by now that number 1 is the number of beginnings and potential, okay? Joining this with the meaning of wands, we could consider, for example, a beginning of a creative project. It will all depend on the reading, but if you take the meaning of the number and the meaning of the suit, you will already have something to work with, even if you don't look at the drawing of the card. But what I really think is helpful is to look at the drawings to understand the depth they bring to the readings. So let's look at this drawing closely. Card, please. You will notice that on the Rider Waite Smith deck, every ace card shows a hand holding the element of the suit. So obviously for the Ace of Wands, we have a hand holding a wand. Notice that the wand on the top has green leaves. This hand is mysteriously showing up from a cloud, and at the same time it irradiates light. On the background there is a green scenery with a castle on top of a mountain and a tiny river. So comparing to the major arcana cards, this one seems to be a pretty simple drawing, but it does not mean that this card lacks meaning or symbology. Let's start by the most dominant color of this card, the color gray. We know by now that the color gray is the balance or the mix of black and white, so it stands for the balanced middle ground between everything and nothing. It is also a color very linked to knowledge and wisdom, so this alone shows us that this card brings a balanced feeling to the reading, but enriched with knowledge to help us move forward. Now the wand itself, this is a wand made of wood, and we can see how on the top part there are little sprouts growing with green luscious leaves. This gives us the idea of something growing, something fresh showing up. The tree of life that shows up on most mythologies, growing and expanding. It brings the idea that life is changing, but for the better, growing new leaves and sprouts, a promising future. The wand is held out by a floating hand that emerges from a cloud. This hand can be seen as offering us this wand or just using it for its power. Now, because the hand is emerging from a cloud, this can draw the idea of something divine, a divine interaction that helps us channel and use the driving forces of the suit of wands. And this idea will be present on the other aces as well. Remember that the prevailing forces of wands are the passion, the creativity, the innovation. The suit revolves a lot around our personal development, on how we apply our creative efforts. The hand has bright rays sparking, and here we can see another connection to the divine, but light also brings us the idea of brightness, of optimism, hope. So all in all, the hand offers us the growth, the new fresh start with fresh leaves, illuminated by hope and light. On the background, we have a river, and with rivers, we always have the notion of the flow of water, of letting ourselves float and be taken by the river stream, the liberty of choosing to go with the flow. But to me, the small presence of the element of water helps us with the notion or the idea that there is nourishment to these lands, and you can see that the landscape is green and thriving. So there will be nourishment to this wand and lands to help the sprouts to keep growing. Further back, we have a mountain with a castle on top, and castles are always a sign of buildings with a lot of power, but a lot of protection too. They aren't built out of cheap materials, they are built to last. But to get to this castle, you will need to climb up the mountain. And that brings us back to the reality that life has challenges, and this new phase may have some mountains to climb. But the higher you climb, the closer you get to the castle. But what can you exactly tell of this card if it is drawn on a reading? Let's keep in mind that every reading is different, and that the meanings I'll talk about here will always depend on your interpretation of the spread, the cards around this one, and the question at hand, okay? Everything will influence the meaning. Firstly, the idea of a fresh start on the creative front, an opportunity or a new project. Whatever you are applying your creative energy at the moment will be affected in a positive way. It will bring winds of change and a fresh new start with all the inspiration, motivation, and creativity to work out. This card is about being active, being innovative, and passionate. So if the reading at hand is about work, it could mean a new career path that can be on the horizon, for example. Remember that the aces open up the way for the suit, and with wands we have the correlation to the element of fire, so in a way we can look at the ace of wands as the little spark that comes up when we are passionate about something, the fire we feed as we explore new grounds of something we love. Now, what if the card is drawn reversed? Well, this card reversed can mean that you are not being able to light up that spark. Finding it difficult to focus your mind, you may be feeling unable to finish projects or achieving goals because of this lack of focus or lack of motivation. Some setbacks can be at play here too, and these setbacks can be the source of discouragement and lack of focus you may be experiencing. It can even be a sign of procrastination, but if you truly want this goal, this card is a sign that you have the potential to achieve it. It is a goal that can work out with a good payoff if you refocus and start using your creativity and energy with love and dedication. You need to find the clarity of mind and really push through with determination and certainty that there is potential. But you need to put in the effort or it will be wasted. And this is everything I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video and that I was able to help you out better understanding the Ace of Wands. Let me know your opinion about this card with a comment. Do you read it differently? Were you following another chain of thought regarding this card? I'm curious about it, so share with me your views on the Ace of Wands. Before you leave, give this video a big thumbs up to show some support, and remember that if you want to follow my journey a bit more closely, you can check out my social media links on the description box down below. There you can also find my Ko-Fi account where you can support my channel at the price of a coffee. I will see you on the next video for another card. Stay safe. Bye!